Welcome to another edition. I know it's been a while that we have not seen each other. The headliner. I am your host, Larry H. Gardner, and the H stands for happy birthday to me. Yes. Well, for the haters and the haterettes, I am now 51 years old, and I have entered another year around the sun. So thank you very much for the haters and haterettes. I wish he was gone. Guess what? I'm still here, rocking and rolling on WNRV 108.1.com. The DJs will be getting your nerves. Period. I have not forgotten some of you. The last time you see me was at a little bit in June, somewhere around that. That was before the Usher and Chris Brown concert invaded Cleveland and some other stuff invaded Cleveland. So before I start, we have some tragic news in the world of music. I understand that iconic country star, I was about to say pop star, country star Dolly Parton has died at the age of 80. Today, unfortunately, on my birthday. Rest in peace to Dolly Parton. Also, I'm still getting over the loss of Aaliyah. Of course, Aaliyah, years ago, she passed away, so it still hurts. And also, we need to say rest in peace and sending out prayers to the Vernon Williams family. Mother Dorothy Williams, who is the mother of Dr. Lady Victory Vernon of the Word Church. Dorothy Williams passed away at age 90, lived a long, full life, left behind a whole bunch of children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren however, at the age of 90. The burial was actually today at Highland Park Cemetery. I was not privileged to go, but I did attend the service. Shout out to the Word Church for putting on another service. Before she was at the Word Church, she was at New Life Community and those things. So just rest in peace to them. Of course, I'm still mourning the loss of my mother and father, Anita and Lena France and Larry Sr. on my birthday. But I appreciate, on a more happier note, shout out to everybody at New Voices for Reproductive Justice here in Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Cleveland, Ohio, for sending me happy birthday wishes, period. Thank you very much to all the staff. There's too many of you to name. If I had to name you all and how I feel about y'all in a positive manner, we would be here and I wouldn't have an hour. So because I am doing the show I usually do the show at 7, but because I have a movie date at Silver Spot about to go see Spider-Man, which is the first part of my birthday shenanigans during the work week, I need to just be prepared to leave out of here around about 7 o'clock. Human T-Rex on the ones and twos helping me out. But I also got to give a shout out to this past couple of weekend. We celebrated Kevin MC Chill, who had the 40 Below. His first LP was released 40 years ago, and first major artist in Cleveland, Ohio, to be signed by a major label in New York City. Crazy Bone, the Bone Thugs of Harmony was here. Ronska and Shantae was here. A whole bunch of hip hop legends. And of course, a week ago, we celebrated 20 years of hip hop. Shout out to Big Hef Quincy Taylor of the Big Hef Radio Show right here on WNRV 108.1.com Nerve DJs, period. And he had a bunch of stuff and memorabilia from when he was doing it. Big Moochie and other people who were there had displays, and that is in the Cleveland Library, along with that Cavaliers championship display from the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers championship conquest of the National Basketball Association. If you are wanting me to say something about LeBron James going to the Philadelphia Sixers as the free agency, you're not going to find it At the reality point, I really don't actually care anymore. Here's the reason why. They feel like they can win a championship in Philly with Jaylen Brown coming from the Boston Celtics, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid. Jaylen Brown was shipped off to Philadelphia, and Boston got Paul George. I don't know who. I'm sure Philly felt like they won. And the funny thing is that I had to go down to Philadelphia for a retreat. Shout out to Philadelphia for making us Ohioans feel welcome, even though they thought you got one of our biggest assets. I thought it was going to come back to Cleveland, but it didn't happen. Speaking of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell and Coco Jones got married. Shout out to Spider and Mrs. Spider for finally tying that knot. Period. There was a whole bunch of people there, and it was just a nice ceremony. I'm sure a couple of people from Cleveland were in there, and I saw the pictures. They were very, very elegant and classy. Speaking of somebody getting the other bag, Cavaliers James Harden, 3 years, $97 million signed, and he's staying here in Cleveland. Listen, despite everybody saying, oh, he's washed, he's this, he's 36, he's that. I don't think we get to the Eastern Conference Finals without the beard. So how you feel about him is how everybody feels about him. Like, we got the trade. We got another player, another athletic player. We got players in the draft. We still have the core with Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. We did lose Max Strus. We did lose Dean Wade. So be it. All right. So it's like we did lose Dennis Schroeder. So be it. Sometimes you win some, you lose some. So to Max Strus, I know he was a big part of the energy and the fire that the Cavaliers had. So, listen, Max, best of luck to you in Charlotte, Washington, wherever you went. So, period, point blank. I'm gonna get into sports in a minute because there's probably two things on your mind, so that I haven't talked about. So, speaking of sports. The San Francisco 49ers owner, Jed York, Jed's a party man. Now, he was in Ohio because, there's people ties in Ohio. He was in Ohio and he got arrested for prostitution, probably picking up a hooker one way or another, and he got arrested and locked up. Of course, they're going to sweep this under the rug because he's a $1 billion NFL owner, probably a MAGA participant. Not saying that, it's not saying such, but here's the thing. It's Jed, aren't you married, sir? I mean, come on. Oh, Jed York's estranged wife. And Jed York filed for divorce before he was arrested for prostitution. I guess he was trying to have the divorce party a little bit earlier than expected. Ooh-wee. But I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound petty. But, everybody talks about, the NFL players doing all this and things of that nature. But, it's these owners that got some skeletons in their closet that they just have been gushing out. For real. So, now that we've got that out the way, shout out to Jed for being so stupid. I'm going to talk about another sports figure here in Cleveland. And I know that some of you Pittsburgh Steelers fans are listening on my YouTube and my Facebook. Y'all need to hush up somewhere and go sit down somewhere. So, yes, I'm talking about the Browns making the announcement that week 1 against Jacksonville Jaguars, when the Browns start their season, that they're going to start Deshaun Watson. Why? Listen. Like the competition between Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders who are picking people. To all the Shedeur Sanders haters, what did you see in preseason? that convinced you that Deshaun was better. And let me remind you, when we got Deshaun, all the allegations and things of that nature, with all the stuff that was going on, that y'all didn't like him, that y'all wished that we would have kept Baker Mayfield. Besides, Baker Mayfield's over in Tampa Bay trying to get his coins on the contract over there for $55 million. He hasn't got it yet, but still. My thing here is that here's how the Cleveland media, Tony Grossi, Mary Kay Cabot, plays people. And Ken Norman, whatever podcast you on, please shut your white ass up. Y'all hated Deshaun so much, but then it's like playing two black quarterbacks. It's like playing, which black quarterback do you hate more? Do you hate Deshaun more, or do you hate Shedeur more? So the thing about it is, with what Deshaun said at the post game conference after the dreadful preseason loss to the Buffalo Bills. By the way, Shedeur Sanders did drive the Browns down the field on his first play under the offense under center and drove them down for a touchdown, hitting tight end Ken Norman. My thing is this: why in the actual fuck did he say that he didn't like the fans booing? Here's the thing, Deshaun. They gave you $230 million over 5 years. So far, you have produced one shoulder injury, two Achilles injuries, one suspension, 0 playoff wins, 0 Super Bowls, and possibly got one of the best defensive linemen in Myles Garrett saying, you know what, LA look nice around this time of year. That's why he's a Ram now. And you expect Browns fans not to boo. Now, to be contrite, that don't boo him. Listen, bad performance registers with boos, okay? Bad performance. I'm not talking about booing him because of his color, because of the money he got. Like, bad performance would resonate with that. And the thing about it is like, I care about the team, whoever gives us the best chance to win. And I just feel like because of the injuries that Deshaun has, and after being out a year and a half playing football, especially playing that position of quarterback, especially the way that he plays it. Now, let's be perfectly honest. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Before all this stuff like that, the Houston Texans version of Deshaun Watson and the Clemson version of Deshaun Watson was a beast, Hall of Fame type quarterback. The Cleveland Browns version of Deshaun Watson, bust. And I hate to say it like that. And then he changed that up real quick after he got the starting job. Now, he was playing with the second string linemen, and he wasn't getting, he was checking down and things of that nature. We do have some young wide receiver talent. We do have young running back talent. We have some young hogs that'll push it in. But I figured that Shedeur should have been the leader of the new school on that one, with Deshaun Watson being the veteran backing him up. But the Browns still had to pay this man $40 million, and Haslam, Jimmy Haslam, who I don't agree with pretty much almost never, decided to go ahead and name him the starter through Todd Monken, who was the voice of the new head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Listen, everybody's like, Todd Monken made a big mistake. Listen, we already know it came from up top. It came from Jimmy and Jimmy and D Haslam said, start the $40 million person if we get railroaded. And a lot of people are saying, well, this is a play because they're getting that new stadium to get the number 1 draft pick to go after Texas quarterback Arch Manning, who's friend of the Haslams, who's a friend of the Mannings. That's Peyton and Eli nephew. That's Cooper's son. All that other stuff like that. Arch Manning, he's gonna be a Brown. I don't know if he's gonna be a Brown. Who will want to come to this toxic ass environment? The Cleveland Browns have proven in there, and despite Andrew Berry draft picks and trying to make the best of a bad situation, that the organization, Jimmy, has failed to produce playoff wins. I mean, we had playoff wins on the Baker. Let's just be perfectly honest. We had one against the Steelers, and then we faltered against the then world champion Kansas City Chiefs. A move here, a move there. We could have kept the same team, kept the same talent, and would have been a lot better off. You know, and according to reports in Atlanta, they're not too happy about their new coach, which was our old coach, Kevin Stefanski, or Stupansky either. Like, I already told you that Kevin Stefanski just looked nice in the coach's hoodie, but he wasn't really a coach. Period. He made gadget plays and stupid moves that cost the Browns some games and made Myles Garrett leave and go somewhere else. Besides, this Myles Garrett's fiance's over there, but that's beside the point. But I give this a thumbs down as far as this move. And the reason I said thumbs down, because everybody's probably knowing what I'm going to allude to. I'm alluding to the simple fact of the matter is that good old Stephen A. Smith, our favorite ESPN buck dancer, massa loving, black sportscaster, First Take ESPN, got a thumbs down from the National Association of Black Journalists when they'd had their awards dinner on Saturday night. Now, the convention, which was in Cleveland, Ohio last year when NABJ was celebrating their 50th year, as far as having conventions, they went to Atlanta this year. They were in Cleveland last year. I went to that. It was wonderful. They went to Atlanta, Georgia this year, and that's where they found out about their and then they did the awards dinner where they gave that thumbs down with a couple other people, and Stephen A. Smith was one of those journalists that got the thumbs down. And they did not bring First Take to Atlanta, Georgia this year, but First Take, Stephen A. Smith with other people, with include Monica McNutt, were here last year in Cleveland, Ohio, but they didn't bring the show this year. Now, Mr. Smith, I'm going to give you, Mr. Smith was so upset that he ran to a couple of stations, including Sean Hannity of Fox News, aka MAGA Central, and decided to say that I never disrespected black women. They have, like, everything they're saying is a lie. What evidence that you have? I mean, your show, the political talk that you have, your show, Straight Shooter, shows that you dogged Carrie Champion, Jasmine Crockett, some other African-American athletes, including Draymond Green, and also you took a shot at former First Lady Michelle Obama. Are you crazy as fuck for doing something stupid like that? We have you didn't got no evidence, and I can show you about some embezzling from the NABJ and infighting and taking shots. But when this current asshole president, Donald Trump, and I hate to say his name, y'all know how I feel about this son of a bitch, and y'all saying this dumb stuff about this, that, and the other. When Trump called you an idiot and low IQ, you were like, I'm an American citizen. Did you say anything bad about Trump? No. But you want to tell Jasmine Crockett, who represented her people in Texas, that she should compromise with Trump? You don't compromise with systemic racism or the face of it. You fight that shit. You block that shit. That's a racist. You block that shit. That's what Jasmine Crockett was doing. And the 755,000 people that were her constituents at the time applauded her for it. Now, they ran somebody in a race against her. That's why she's no longer an elected official anymore, which I thought that was fucked up. But the fucked up part about it is that you took a shot at her, I remember you took a shot at everybody. I remember that your broadcast partner, Monica McNutt, when everybody was going ape shit crazy over Caitlin Clark, when MAGA needed a female symbol in the WNBA, and Monica McNutt said you should have been covering the WNBA a long time ago, and your eyes popped out of your damn head like, you have the audacity that she said something, say something bad about me. I'm the great Stephen A. Smith. Listen, brother, just because you shout all the goddamn time, all the damn time, doesn't make your ass right. You're not right all the time. And anybody, listen, I see people that defending him like the NABJ, what they did was wrong. They should have never had this in a public forum. And he was like the president of NABJ, the National Association of Black Journalists. Well, they should have had a private conversation, should have never blasted him publicly. Well, guess what? He should have never blasted Jasmine Crockett publicly. He should have never blasted other black women, Kamala Harris publicly, and he should have never blasted Michelle Obama, especially publicly. That's why Michelle Obama called you a goddamn, what is it? A reality show? Shout too much? And you got mad about what she said, but you already know that Michelle Obama says this with love and class, but you wanted to blast her. If I was Barack, I would have slapped the shit out of you for talking about my wife like that. Dumb son of a bitch. Why you leave black women alone? Punk. We were rooting for you, Stephen A. As black people, we were rooting for you. But you become a buck dancing coon just like Officer Brandon Tatum. I don't know who the officer of. Candace Owens, Was We Lost, and that goddamn ugly ass Tim Scott. Let me just tell all you MAGA black suckers right now that want to suck on Don's orange withery ass dick that you will never be accepted in that community because they fucking hate you and they use you for their platforms to talk down to other African Americans who disagree with their politics because their health care is getting cut off, their social security is getting cut off, their food is getting cut, their jobs are getting cut, their DEI platforms are getting snatched. They're like MAGA snatched them in the thieves of the night. That Project 2025 made sure that all African Americans who weren't in your tax bracket, Mr. Smith, don't get shit. And you are sitting up there pushing the matter. Now, are you a politician? Are you an elected official? No. But you are helping other elected officials push the agenda of white supremacy on black people, and you look just like them. You said it wasn't a disagreement with black women, it was a disagreement with Democrats, liberals. That's what you said. You made it political when it was a disagreement where they did put their thumbs down. There are some conservatives in the National Association of Black Journalists. You made it political. They made it personal because of the simple fact of the matter is you were dogging people that look like you, and you say, I had a black mother, she died. I have black daughters. I have black sisters. Yeah. And if somebody would have said the same dirty shit that you said about them, you'd be ready to fight. Like you was almost ready to fight LeBron when LeBron came up to you when he was talking shit about having Bronny James in the NBA when he was the Los Angeles Lakers. And you stood up there and LeBron stood up there and said, no, this ain't what you want. He came to your ass. I was ready to see him swing. Now, as much as I disagree with some of LeBron's decisions about, announcing he was going to Miami, leaving Cleveland, and going to Cleveland, leaving Cleveland to go to LA, I ain't disagree with that much. He gave us a championship. Thank you very much, Mr. LeBron James. But he was ready to knock you the fuck out, and you wasn't about to do a goddamn thing about it. But you want to attack black women. Now, it's still time to redeem yourself. And you could have redeemed yourself. You could have went to Tamron Hall, Joy Reid, any other, Roland Martin. But you know what you did, Stephen A.? You know what compounded the goddamn problem? And this is where, and I know that, you got friends in the media like Jamel Hill, trying to soften that now. He's done stuff for HBCUs. He's had some stuff. And I agree that he has done, but Ever since ESPN paid him to be the buck dancer that day, everybody think he is, then he's doing the exact same thing that he wanted people to do. So here's the thing, he wanted his master to do. So he ran the Fox News show on Sean Hannity's program. And we know Fox News don't give a shit about black people unless they kissing Megyn Kelly's ass. That he decided to go over there and talk about black people just like black people, and black people don't listen to Fox News that much. He wanted to attack black people on a white program, on a white network. Really? That's your answer? So black people talking about you go to Masters, the Masters media base to talk about they doing this to me and they was wrong in the NABJ, talking about a black organization. You sound like a whiny ass motherfucking crybaby ass boy. Shut up. You could have just went to Joy Reid, Tamron Hall, would have had a conversation and gave that to a black audience and drawn people to the black audience. You could have called, hey, you can reach out to me. I would have asked, how do you feel about this? You were on a black station. Going to Fox News was stupid on your part. Whoever is your publicist or whoever works for you that said that was a good move needs to be not only fired, but they need to never have a job in handling celebrities ever again in life, because the first thing you should have did, you should have came back to your base that supported you, and that was African Americans just like myself that supported you when you were on air. That was stupid. Now I do agree with you that NABJ maybe should have never said it publicly, but you should have never attacked Jasmine Crockett and other black women and black athletes publicly. You went after Draymond Green, you went after LeBron James, you went after so many African American athletes. But when Trump and his white counterparts talk about you like a dog in the dirt, you say absolutely positively nothing. This brings up the greatest line ever that Denzel Washington, yes, actor Denzel Washington said in Remember the Titans, the movie Remember the Titans. I remember this. It was about racism on the football field when they were playing on the same team. Denzel says, I'm a mean cuss, but I'm a mean cuss to everybody. So if you have that same energy for Jasmine Crockett, have the same energy for Donald Trump, you have the same energy for this administration that is in the majority that's in charge, that are tearing up lives and taking away rights, reproductive rights and other rights, and food rights from black and brown people that look like you, that watch you on TV, that aspire to be you. You make sure that the stuff that HBCUs and all the rights and everything that they're taking away from their home life, you make sure you stand up for those. You want to be in politics one day? This is the criticism that you're going to get when the people feel like that you over there kissing the ring. You're no better than Brandon Tatum. Brandon Tatum's a bitch. Officer Brandon Tatum is a punk ass bitch. Jason Whitlock is a punk ass bitch. Candace Owens and Nicki Minaj, I don't know what's wrong with y'all, but y'all should never be listened to or invited to any cookouts again because y'all over there kissing Donald Trump's white ass. By the way, his white ass is always independent, so y'all kissing some shitty ass cheeks at this particular time. Y'all bringing the biscuits and cooking them for the cookout over there at the MAGA White House. By the way, the East Wing has been torn down to a goddamn golden ballroom. What are y'all doing? Y'all waiters and waitresses over there? Y'all bringing the biscuits over there for real? Y'all make me sick. Anybody that wants to sell out, and by the way, Brandon Tatum should apologize to the Wells family and saying that Nolan Wells, who died while he was with some white friends. Brandon Tatum said that Nolan Wells was on cocaine, and the autopsy proved that Brandon Tatum is a fucking liar. Brandon Tatum should shut the fuck up and go somewhere. By the way, Stephen A., if you keep going down this road, You're no better than your arch nemesis that you claim, Jason Whitlock. Period. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, I'm gonna talk about another racist issue that deals with people dining out of town. I'm just playing my favorite songs. This is Earth Gang, Collide. We'll be right back on the Headline Eye to these messages.
This is WNRV 108.1.
Say we're flying down a path with no ending. And if I die before I wake, ooh, don't let me wake up from this dream. When we collide, when we collide, it's a beautiful disaster. But when I crash into you, crash into you. I've been so frustrated, have to let it out. Let me tell you with my body what I'm talking about. And I don't care about the future or the past. Riding slow cause you know the world's moving too fast. When we collide, when we collide, it's a beautiful disaster. When I crash into you, crash into you. Without you, I'm just a fraction. Closing in on my demise. And I love you religiously, with everything inside of me. As long as I'm alive. When we collide, when we collide, it's a beautiful disaster. When I crash into you, crash into you. When we collide, when we collide.
This is WNRV 108.1.
Looking to grow or expand your business?
Yo, bro, you read my mind.
Well, we have the perfect solution for you. Your business needs are important, and so is your advertising. Here at WNRV Power 1081, we have marketing solutions for all your business needs and affordable pricing to keep you in the green. Give us a call today at 216-702-0688. That's 216-702-0688. Or email us at WNRVPower1081@gmail.com today.
This is WNRV 108.1.
Wagwan, this is Miss BBC, your reggae woman. Make sure you tune into the Headline Eye on WNRV 108.1.
What do you get when you take two witty nerds and two of the best pair of hands since Techniques 1200s? Or better yet, Grandma's fried chicken, macaroni and cheese and greens on Sunday after church. Hallelujah! Then for dessert, the dopest blend of classic R&B and hip-hop joints all whipped up in one big sexy mixing bowl. You know what you get? The partying bull. Show. That's right. Heard 7 days a week. Make sure you check your station for days and times. It ain't what you used to, and it's better than what you thought. It's the most unprepared show on the planet. You never know what we gonna say or who's gonna stop by. It's the Partying Bull Show with Dave Tolliver, Tiffany Nicole, DJ Cochise, and DJ Deuce. aka the Final Four. Turn it up in the whip, turn it up loud on Saturday while you cleaning. We the best, and I ain't talking about DJ Khaled. We up and we on. Check your stations for days and times. Party and bull-ish, cause everybody loves a party. And bull-ish ain't always bad. I holla. Yeah, man.
This is WNRV 108.1.
What's up? It's your girl, Arthur Ivy Lee. Tune into the Headline Eye on WNRV 108.1.
I'm that nigga. I don't think you heard me. Yeah. I'm a bad bitch and I'm that nigga. Just in case you wondering. Yeah. I am the man. If you can dig it, I don't need nothing. Yeah. I am the man. If you can dig it, I don't. If you want to, baby, if you get if you take me through the night, get juice, take me all the night. Oh, they can die whenever you do it. You gotta do it. You be choosing. I'm a bad bitch and I'm that nigga. I don't think you heard me. Yeah. I'm a bad bitch and I'm that nigga. Just in case you.
All right, we're back on the Headline Eye. That is Cleveland's own Duran Bernard with Mango Butter, and yes, he said it. He like, I'm a bad, I'm that. So it is what it is. Shout out to Duran Bernard for winning that award, Grammy Award and stuff like that. So if you listen to his new album, it's fire. There's a lot of stuff in there that's fire. So. And he's from Cleveland. So we had, speaking of Cleveland, shout out to MGK for riding in Cleveland for his MGK Day and things that were celebrated. Shout out to all the Cleveland artists that are doing wonders. From MC Chill, we celebrated him this past weekend. To Big Hef celebrating the 20 years in hip hop. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody that's celebrating Cleveland artists and doing things in not only this city but abroad. I'm going to bring up something that kind of disturbs me in a way. Before I do that, I just read that President Trump's approval rating has dropped to 33%. That's 1 in 8 of Americans are still holding on to the fact that he's going to make America great again. With all the lies, and I posted something on social media. With all the lies, the deceit, and the no promises of walls and everything he was going to do to drop grocery prices down, it hasn't happened. His administration has been running amok, talking about Iran, and Iran pretty much won the war. They got jobs, we're losing jobs. They got money, we're losing money. Who's winning here? It's like Trump talked about, we're going to do so much winning. What winning? There's no winning. There's no winning with him. We saw this the first act when he was 45, and now that he's 47, we saw that act and people, and the thing about it is, like, people are still trying to hold on to dear life, that what they're doing, sacrificing their own health care and food with nothing in their refrigerator and stuff going up, cost of living going up, people signing things in Ohio about, you can frisk everybody in the car when the police pull you over. By the way, speaking of in Ohio, The governor's race is at a dead heat, according to Politico, with Vivek Ramaswamy and Dr. Amy Acton running at a dead heat. Even though that Ramaswamy's base is pretty much outspinning hers, it still is not helping. It still is not helping his case to be the next governor of Ohio. It's a dead heat. Vote, please. I'm going with the doctor on this one. I don't care about Ramaswamy and trying to cut colleges and everything else. It's too much. It's too much racism and hatred that goes around his camp, especially dealing with that MAGA base. Speaking of racism, now they have stopped these rumors, but there was Texas Roadhouse. You know that the chain of roadhouses and restaurant chain that goes around nationally. There was a social media group, Facebook group, that says that whenever black people or brown people order at Texas Roadhouse, now this is alleged, so this is not proven or anything. They have since denied it, says that whenever waiters or a cook or a waitress see a black person ordering before they get their food, they usually spit in it or do something to it. Now, there has been a long line of food abuse. You know, when people say don't yell at the cook or the drive-through window because they'll do something to the food, like drop it on the floor and put an extra piece of cheese on the burger or something like that. Let me just explain that this illicit, destructive behavior will not be tolerated by any restaurant. If you know that certain people are doing this bullshit, you call them out and get their ass up the fuck up out of there. You get them fired. Now, it's been happening to black people for years, and it's not just food. Let's talk about the way they're treated as far as health care. Let's talk about that. How does it relate to reproductive justice? Well, there's racism everywhere on a scale of 1 to 1 million as far as racism, sexism, colorism, that African Americans, no matter in what situation, get treated different when white establishments decide that they need to be treated different, or they don't care about their health care, or they don't care about their food, or they don't care about that they have food deserts. This is nothing new. This is just a long line of scale, and I'm calling out Texas Roadhouse about this. And like, they deny these claims, but if somebody put it in a social media group, and there's millions of people that follow that group, and say, yeah, this is what I did to one person's plate. Here's the thing. There's not a lot of chances, especially in this economy, that we go out and have a meal with our families or can afford one at a place like that. But when they do, they should be treated with respect, just like any other patron, any other customer that eats there. Now, I'm raising my eyebrow because despite them denying this, unless they say that they can come out and stop this and say that we have eliminated something like this, then I suggest that African American people, black and brown people, boycott Texas Roadhouse. Don't go there. Fuck them. Go somewhere else. Go to your local places. African American establishments. Don't go to Texas Roadhouse. Fuck them. Don't give them your money. Just like when that dude, the owner of Town Hall, was accused of rape, Bobby George, and he was accused of assault and things of that nature. Somebody brought up Town Hall to me. I said, hell no, I don't want to go to Town Hall. Why not? Because the simple fact of the matter is that Bobby George did this, and I'm not supporting anybody that is doing this to women. Rapist type. Assault. I'm not doing it. I can't. I work for a company that supports African American women. I work for an organization. I was going to say company, organization. I also have a morals clause. I'm not throwing my money to him so he can do some illicit stuff to other people. That could have been one of my peoples. So the reason I say don't support things like that nature is because you're throwing money at something that still is a problem. Unless they called it out saying, well, we're not denying it. I don't trust you. Like that DEI stuff. Look what happened with Target. The CEO had to step down because black people stopped spending money there. See, you can show the one thing that I always said in an analytics world, pretty much a bottom line world in a capitalist society like the US of A, that black people, even though we make up the small percentage of population, we also make up the largest we also make up the largest consumers in this country. That means wherever we go, people will follow, and if we don't go, they won't follow. Meaning I'm not going to spend my money with an organization or a company that treats us like shit, that will disrespect our food, that will spit in our food. It's like you spit in my face if you spit in my food, because I got to eat that. I don't know what you did to it. That's disgusting. And those people that decide that they want to do some racist, heinous shit to black people just because they black, they should be fired. They should never work in the restaurant business again. Period. They should never do that. I'm sick and tired of everybody defending, well, that's my spot, and, Go to Waffle House with that shit. Remember, people discuss me defending racism, and it goes to the point where we can use our power by not only writing our legislators, but the one power that we have, that we do every day, is we decide where we spend our money at. Like, okay, you can vote for it, you have elections every single year, but every single day I decide who I spend my money with so you can stay in business. Period. I decide who I listen to as far as media so they can be popular. See, Stephen A. Smith didn't really get the support when he was at the Philadelphia Inquirer until black folks started listening to him on First Take. That's why there was the number one show running. Because we're rooting for black people. The problem that I have when we root for black people is how quickly, as soon as they get that Caucasian dollar, they turn against us. You weren't even talking about politics 14 years ago when you almost got fired for talking shit about Ray Rice's girlfriend because he smacked her in the elevator. It was like, no, he made a mistake, bring him back. Now you over here saying all this stuff about, saying, well, liberals are attacking me or whatever you the fuck said. It's irrelevant right now because, A, you're not a policymaker. You don't, but you want to be one. You want to be a politician and elected official so bad. My thing is this. We have the power to decide who we want to represent us in a space by watching them. And we have a power to go to these stores, these restaurants, and saying, if you don't respect black people, we not gonna come in your establishment. I mean, I understand that y'all we want to be accepted, segregation. We want to sit in diners and stuff like that. I mean, let's be honest, the Montgomery bus boycott by Rosa Parks, started a movement where if you don't let us sit where we want to, then we not going to ride your buses. And back then in 1955, 1956, that took away millions of dollars of fare from the Montgomery bus system, and fare was only 10 cents. Now, I feel like Texas Roadhouse and those people who disrespect black people, who disrespect them, you need not to do business with them anymore, or just being disrespectful. And you don't even have to announce the boycott. Just stop going in there. They'll shut down, they'll close down, period, point blank. You don't have to announce what you're doing. You don't even have to say it like all right, we gonna boycott, who with me? No, just stop. One day, just stop. You know what, I'm going somewhere else. No, I know what they do to black people food in there. So there was like either a Bob Evans or Denny's, black customers were treated bad. You know what they did? They stopped going. And then like, oh, wait, we can't lose your dollars. The one way that we talk about rights and legislation, for black folks, I always learned, T-Rex, audience, that the best way to stop racism is to stop their capitalism. Like pretty much you hit them in the wallet. You don't shop there. You don't go there. Remember when Donald Trump attacked Jimmy Kimmel and the FCC person was like, we're going to take Kimmel off the air. We're going to take late night with Jimmy off the air, and everybody start canceling their Disney subscriptions. That movement took maybe like 3 to 5 days before Jimmy Kimmel came right on the air and still dissed Donald Trump. You know how much one Disney subscription is not going to do, but imagine millions of people just say, you know what, Disney, Mickey Mouse, fuck you. Until you put Jimmy Kimmel back on the air, we ain't gonna watch nothing that y'all put out. And they had to agree. So they put him back on the air. If we stand up like that, we can move mountains. We can close down businesses by not spending our dollars anywhere and everywhere with people that disrespect us. I'm not going to spend my money with the enemy or give the enemy my money. First of all, I work too hard for it. Second of all, why should I do it if they don't respect me? If they don't respect me or respect, and this is the one thing I've learned throughout the course of my 50 plus years on this earth, that America is a capitalist society. The only thing that never was discriminated against, the only color that was never ever discriminated against was green. Period. Texas Roadhouse, if you have these employees, please, by all means, do better. And if you still have them, you need to terminate their contract. And if you don't, we'll terminate yours in the black community. We're not going to go to Texas Roadhouse. Nope. We'll go to Longhorn. Hey, there's people that love Longhorn. I ain't gonna lie. We'll go to Outback. We ain't gonna go to Texas Roadhouse. Damn you. Also, to anybody that was offended by my commentary tonight about Deshaun Watson and Stephen A. Smith, well, I've been offending you for the past 9 years. Y'all should get used to it by now. But I'm going to say this. If you're offended by somebody that does not have any control in your life, then there's something seriously wrong with yours. Listen, I said what I said about certain African American people in business and sports, commentary, things of that nature. I also in my show tonight went after those who are in power, who are pretty much fucking up this country. And They're fucking it up. You know, putting the white face on. And by the way, the reason I said the thing about the WNBA when Monica McNutt called out Stephen A. Smith, or when former wide receiver Terrell Owens said that his white counterpart Max Kellerman was invited to the cookout and Stephen A. Smith wasn't, is because of Colin Kaepernick. And then, of course, you know, when everybody was going crazy over Caitlin Clark and the WNBA and Stephen A. Smith was riding her coattails, you forget that there were African-American women who paved the way for Caitlin Clark to lace up her shoes for the Indiana Fever. Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops, Candace Parker, who was now in the Basketball Hall of Fame, Cheryl Miller, and of course, Dawn Staley, Shamika Holesclaw, those women. You don't forget, and they're Black African American. Even her quote unquote quasi counterpart in Angel Reese. And you respect these people for paving the way, because without African American women, and we're entering the last part of Black August month, you don't have freedoms. It took African American women to free the slaves. Despite what Kanye said, Harriet Tubman didn't free the slaves. No, and your mind is still on drugs. Whatever Kim gave you to have you marry her and now divorce your ass. But again, I digress. I'll be back next week because I'm right now. Shout out to I am in the book again for Who's Who in Black Cleveland. And I will be at that ceremony at the Intercontinental Hotel from 5 to 7. I thank y'all. Shout out to Crowder and Associates, Rhonda Crowder, African-American woman, the president of the Greater Cleveland Association of Black Journalists here in Cleveland, Ohio. Another strong African-American woman who is doing it. And shout out to everybody that has supported me over my career here in the podcast radio. And this is what it feels like. This is my last song. This is one of my favorites. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. Him with Jay-Z. This is what it feels like. If nobody tells you they love you today, I do. Black Fist up. Peace, love, and hair grease. We out of here till next week.
This is WNRV 108.1.
Successful, then it gets stressful, thirst. Niggas gon' test you, see what your texture's worth. Diamonds and pipes, one of them pressure burst. Street nigga, still I get checks and spurts. I'm for peace, but before I get pressed, I murk. Better days pray for, but expecting worse. At this level, bullshit, I'm just less concerned. Cruising in the 6, looking at the proceeds of rap music on my wrist. Drop another mixtape, my shit booming out this bitch. Young Malcolm, I'm the leader of the movement out this bitch. Look, and this is what it feels like. Reach a level, make you question, is it real life? All the weed good, all the pussy real tight. And the only rule, keep your dollar bills and this right. Is what it feels like. And this is what it feels like. And this is what it feels like. And this is what it feels like.
Scorpion bricks, way before Orbeez double disc. 40 on my lap, clap, sound like 40 did the mix. Filtered bass, sip coat, like a Michelin star chef. Kiss to my wrist, I go dummy with my left. IRS on my dick, try to audit all my checks, too late. You know they hate when you become more than they expect. You let them crackers storm your capital, put their feet up on your desk, and yet you talking tough to me. I lost all my little respect, I'm selling weed in the open, bringing folks home from the feds. I know the payback gon' be mean. I'm saving all my little bread, pray for me, y'all. One day I'ma have to pay for these thoughts. Real niggas is this thing, it ain't safe for me, my dog. They killing niggas in their own hood, that makes sense to you at all. You burnt your bridge to the other side, you know you can't swim across. Y'all know niggas can't swim, they fried Mike after he died. Y'all know niggas can't win, you never land, no jokes aside. I arrived on the day Fred Hampton got assassinated, just to clarify further. What y'all gave birth is the chairman mixed with Jeff Ford. Big step on the jet with my legs crossed. Black stones on my neck, y'all can't kill Christ. Black Messiah is what I feel like. Shit ain't gonna stop cause y'all spill blood. We gon' turn up even more since y'all killed Cuz.
And this is what it feels like. And this is what it feels like. And this is what it feels like. And this is what it feels like.
This is WNRV 108.1.
You